good evening, morning, hello, and all of that sort of thing. I've noticed that people seem to like to show off their record collection, and I thought, well, I've got a reasonable size of records. um, and I thought, well, after the David Cassidy thing, should I show off my David Cassidys? And I thought, no, I know what I'll do. I'll show off my ABBA. Yep, I'll give ABBA a bit of an airing. So yeah, you don't have to worry. I'm not going to speak in one of those sort of radio DJ voices. So I'm not going to speak like this. So you don't have to worry about that. All right? I'll speak like this or like this,
Like that.
but preferably like this. So without further ado, this is ABBA. Hello, is Agneta? Yeah. Okay, now this one I got. Oh, and it's going to flare. Okay, so this is actually the Swedish version of Honey Honey and Waterloo, and I actually did that the right way. And I think I actually bought it with the thing in there too. It's always helpful on your turntable if you don't have one of those big things. Just stick it on the middle and away you go. You can hear Waterloo. Oh, finally feeling my Waterloo. Oh, I got that wrong, didn't I? And next up is the Australian EP for Waterloo. This actually was an Australian only release. But yeah, the RCA release ABBA EP. Obviously from them having just one Waterloo. And the weird thing about it being this really yucky orange is that it makes the picture look slow. It needs to be a colour photo, doesn't it? Orange just doesn't do the job. And this is the Australian pressing of Waterloo, backed with, this is good, I like how I can do this, watch out. Waterloo, watch out. So yeah, on the Australian RCA label, so that's that. And then we have the UK pressing, I think it is, of Waterloo and watch out. You know, I love how this all flares and stuff, don't you? Another copy of Waterloo and watch out. Bjorn, Benny, Anna and Frida. For those that couldn't pronounce Agnetha, they shove Anna on here. And some would be like, oh, who's Anna? Oh, she's the one that's kind of posing like that. I'm just going to drop the records all over the floor, fling them everywhere. So yeah, that's somebody obviously felt that the downside to collecting, obviously somebody felt the need to be a little bit artistic on their front cover there. So, well, what can you do? This is an odd one. Rock Me and I Do, I Do, I Do on the Family label. So obviously it was regarded as, for a family label, it was regarded as wholesome. Now when you've got things like Rock Me, give me that trick now, roll me, show me that trick now, baby. So don't stop doing it, don't stop doing it, rock me, give me that feeling. So, well, then again, I suppose that's one way to create a family. Maybe that was the idea. And of course, you had that. So you had the Vogue. Come on, Vogue, let your body. So that's what the Vogue, oops, that's what the Vogue label looked like over there. Flaring, it's, look at that. See, I'm flaring back at myself. Oh, that's an odd effect, isn't it? Say hello to me in there. Hello. Yes. Oh, now we're getting a bit bland. Here's the Australian copy of, oh, helps if you get it the right way, Ring Ring and Rock and Roll Band. So that's the Australian pressing. And this was an interesting one. Honey Honey and Hasta Mañana on the Carnaby label. So they must have thought, we'll have a bit of Carnaby Street. Once again, it's like a bit of... So that's what the Carnaby label would look like. There we are. That's the Carnaby label. Yeah, the downside to collecting some of these things is that it's either have no copy or a copy with some of that in there. Oh, wow, how iconic this one. Nice tree in the background there, isn't there? We've got the snakeskin boots from Frida there, and what on earth? They all look a bit uncomfortable in that, don't they? So that's the German version copy of Honey Honey. Oh no, this was weird when I found this. This is an American release? I don't quite get it. It's the Atlantic version of Honey Honey. So yeah, that was strange. I've only ever seen one copy of it like this, and so I thought, luckily I was in the position to be able to grab it, so no, this is a hologram. Yes. No, so I was lucky to grab that. And the Australian pressing of Honey Honey. Crinkle there. It sounds like I'm eating a bag of chips, doesn't it? These covers. Now apparently this is a bit of a... this was only released in Australia. I've Been Waiting for You. And backed with King Kong's song. Oh dear, not one of their finest moments, that. But yeah, I've Been Waiting for You. Apparently that's really sought after in the UK. Had no idea until yeah. I've Been Waiting for You and So Long. Now this is, it's kind of like, I've been waiting for you so long. That's a conversation right there, isn't it? So yes, that's the German pressing of So Long. Oh, and yet it looks a little bit, it's the same photo shoot as Honey Honey. They could at least have changed their clothes. Frida looks even more uncomfortable in those. The Australian pressing of So Long and Hasta Mañana. And a Vogue copy of SOS. Oh, I see what this is designed to do. It's designed to show us there in the USA. So that's SOS. Well, these days SOS is quite pertinent, isn't it? ABBA, SOS, the States. Yes, we know what they mean by that. The song, on the other hand. And we've got some Polydor SOS. One of the more sort of Mamma Mia iconic pussycat mini skirt things there. I've always found Bjorn's pose there really kind of like, he's sort of, what's he trying to do there? That's the Australian single of SOS. Notice how the RCA covers are changing. I quite liked that version of the RCA label. Oh, I do rock me. Featuring some fancy footwork from Frida and those kind of iconic wedding cake flares from Agneta there. $1.25 from David Jones. We have Mamma Mia. So there you go. That's how much that's how much a copy of Mamma Mia cost back then. $1.25 from your nearest David Jones store. Photo look from... Oh. Try that again. Photo look familiar, anybody? Now, where have we seen that before? Yeah, that one. So this is the Dutch version. It's a Dutch pressing. And now we have So Long. Kind of interesting copy of this. So yes, this is on the Revolution label. And this is French. really look like deer in headlights there, don't they? So they've been waiting so long for you, they've gone to France. And now we've got the first of pressings for Dancing Queen. That's another Polydor. That's Germany as well. In actual fact, I've got this copy. It was one of the ones where they didn't invert the B, so I was lucky to grab a hold of that. Yeah, some of those I actually bought quite a few years ago, and they were expensive then, so I shudder to think what some of these would be now. Next up is the other version of Dancing Queen, and we find out that this is also $1.25, but we don't quite know where. It doesn't tell us where. What a shame. All we know is this particular Dancing Queen was worth $1.25. This is the Japanese version of Dancing Queen. Wouldn't know how to pronounce Dancing Queen. I wouldn't know. Oh, nice pouts there too. Pre-selfie there, Agneta. The good thing about the Japanese singles, though, is that you would get the lyrics. They'd actually give you the lyrics and a kind of interesting design like that. And now we're getting into Fernando, because there's something in the air tonight. Yeah, see, it even says so. And this would also be from Germany. And this is, completely forgot I had this, Japanese version of That's Me. That must have been released as a single. So yeah, it was That's Me with Money, Money, Money. So obviously Money, Money, Money must have been the B-side for this, especially if you judge by the lyrics. The lyric sheet there. And of course, the Australian cover, I think, which most people would know, Money, Money, Money. I was never a huge fan of that cover, to be perfectly honest. It just looked so slapped together, ragtag. Maybe they were trying to do their version of Let It Be, but just failed abysmally. And then we've got, of course, Knowing Me, Knowing You. Of course, there's Happy Hawaii, which was the reworked version of Why Did It Have to Be Me? Hey Honolulu, we're going to Happy Hawaii. And now we've got the name of the game, with that whole photo session designed to hide Agneta's pregnancy. And also the colour kind of turned a bit strange on that particular pressing too. And then, of course, there's Take a Chance on Me, the Australian pressing. And that's when they started like a kind of, well, it's like tan really, isn't it? Kind of pew brown maybe. And same cover obviously, but different record label. Once again, this is a German pressing. Take a chance, 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 take a chance. And we have sort of a bit of a ragtag version of Eagle / Thank You for the Music. And that's the single version too. They edited it for the single. Don't quite know why. And yet looking very impressed, and Benny's craning his neck to try and get himself in photo. This is from Holland, and it's the same picture sleeve, obviously. You can sort of tell the backing is different. All the Australian singles, by the way, sort of would do that. But yeah. So yeah, that's the Hollandy version, the Hollandaise version. Now this is when the Australian RCA singles started to have this weird sort of plastic thing. Great, I think, in theory, but the thing I didn't like about it was it felt like it was scratching. The singles every time you pulled them out. So there we go. There's Summer Night City, Chiquitita. Pretty straightforward. That's the Australian pressing of Chiquitita. Dutch pressing of Does Your Mother Know? Well, obviously, because that's what it says. There we go. And so, yep, that's the Australian pressing of Does Your Mother Know? Australian pressing of Voulez-Vous. Angela. The way they had Agnetta's hair was interesting. It was like she had the whole back of her hair chopped off. Yikes. This is the UK pressing of Voulez-Vous. Just a smidge different, eh? And this is the Australian pressing for Gimme Gimme Gimme. UK pressing of I Have a Dream, which was interesting because it was pull-out sleeve, like so. Obviously designed to be their UK tour edition. In actual fact, you've got on the back of that a little message from the group. November 1979 will always be of fond memories of our UK tour. Releasing this single gives us the opportunity to thank the thousands of you who made our visit so memorable in 1979, the year of the child. I Have a Dream has a special meaning for us and enabled us to perform the song with choirs of British school children who joined us on stage each night. Together with our song Take a Chance on Me, as performed live at Wembley, we hope this single will be an ideal souvenir of our time in Britain. Our best wishes to everyone, ABBA. Oh, you get a heart, get a love heart there. And then you've got the Australian pressing. Oh, how much did this cost? $1.99. So yep, back in the day this was $1.99. So the prices rose. They went from $1.25 to $1.99. So you can still get change for $2. Back then you could. So yeah, this is a weird one. It's the Spanish version of I Have a Dream. So it should come as no great surprise that this is made in Spain. And we throw ourselves into the 80s with an Australian pressing for The Winner Takes It All. And once again with that terrible plastic thing with... Ah, there we go. We can... And see once again, I mean, it's just really bad. And there's a Super Trooper UK pressing. The weird thing about this one is that it's actually really hard to see any record label thing or anything like that, but it's there. Maybe it's a kind of Where's Wally type thing. And then of course you've got the Australian pressing of On and On and On. I was a bit thrown then because I used the same photo. Daniel. So yes, On and On and On. And on. And on and on and on. Because I Do was in the 70s, and so they went on and on in the 80s. Ooh, whoops. And with amazing imagination, we have the Japanese pressing of On and On and On. Oh, speaking of Agnetta, at least my hair isn't, well, not anymore. In the 80s it sort of, no, early 90s it sort of did. The 80s perm. Yep, this is the, obviously the One of Us single. This is the UK pressing. So you had girls on the A and boys on the B. Sounds so wrong. And then you've got the German pressing for One of Us. So, which is very moody there. That does show the separation of them, doesn't it? And then we have Dutch version of Head Over Heels with Agnetta's perm now looking sort of Farrah Fawcett Flicks type thing. Maybe that was the idea, and it just... Perms always looked... Those sorts of perms always looked a lot better after they started to grow out. Now, how do I know this? And then we have the UK version of Head Over Heels. I sometimes wonder who the idea for photos of these things. I mean, Frida looks in pain there. Now, I've got to admit, I'm not sure which country this one's come from because I can't read the print, but it's When All Is Said and Done. But the label harks back to the old RCA. Whoops, try and do that without flaring. There we go. This is the Australian pressing. So, yep, that's the Australian pressing, but again, you had that. So obviously, as you can tell, RCA did that for years. And now we've got the UK pressing for the day before you came. The Australian pressing of the day before you came. Oh dear. That's actually a worse nick than I thought. And then we have the Spanish version of Under Attack. But Frida's dress, good grief. It looks like they were shoved. Her dress was caught in this massive gust of wind and out these collars went. But this was 1982. And this is a really bad copy of the UK version of Under Attack. Yeah. Not This is the Australian pressing for Under Attack. As usual, it's sort of like both either side there. It's kind of like you can take a pick. You can toss a coin, A or B. And unless you're looking, you wouldn't know. Do you know, I actually can't remember buying this. I truly can't remember buying this one. It's Thank You for the Music poster. There's the single. And that's the poster. So there we go. So yeah, that's the poster. That's what the poster looks like. And I have no memory of buying this. It just appeared. That's what I'll say. That's all I'll say. It just appeared in my collection one day and I just rediscovered it just now. The downside to folding these things up is that if I worry about, because the creases have been there so long, you worry about the paper kind of giving way. I don't really want that. Then when ABBA started to have a bit of a resurgence, there were some singles that were released, UK pressings, and I was lucky to get a couple of them. And there's that one, Thank You for the Music. That was obviously sort of when ABBA Gold became the big thing. It's the giveaway is the little sort of logo above the U. You have 4 streaks from the U. And another one was Voulez-vous. Voulez-vous, Voulez-vous. So there we are. That's the ABBA singles collection. Only took me about 18 hours to record. No, I exaggerate. 17 and a half. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. It was interesting going back through some of those actually. I haven't been through them for quite a long time. So I'm glad I was able to share them with you, because I was sort of sharing them with myself as well, if that makes any sense. Because like I say, I haven't seen them for a long time, some of them. Good to see they've stood the test of time too. There's just that smidge extra wear and tear now that I've done all this, but hey, that's alright. Anyway, I'm going to trundle off, and you take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.